Hello, this is Robert Perkins, the immigration professor. Welcome to our video about deferred action and the President Obama executive order of November 20th, 2014. We have a whole online library of videos on immigration topics. It's at our website, www.immigrationprofessor.com. Or if you have a specific question about your case, you can call us nationwide, 888-439-4560. And we'd be delighted to help you. We represent people all around the country. So again, welcome to our video. As everybody knows, President Obama signed an executive order that allows people that are in the United States illegally, either they entered illegally or their visas have expired, to get a work card, travel permit, Social Security, driver's license, and the like. However, one of the things the President said is that, that he's concerned about people that may have committed crimes or the backgrounds of people. So what I want to do is to focus on that and the importance of getting a background check. A lot of times people will do something, let's say they go to a bar and they have a little too much to drink and they go outside and they're loud and they encounter the police. Let's say nothing much happens. The police give them a ticket, they pay the ticket. That is a conviction. A ticket is a conviction. We really need to know what that conviction is for. It's very important to have a background check because even though many people qualify for this, there are certain convictions that disqualify people and certain convictions that may lead to the person being deported. So it's really important to get this before you apply. Even if you think something, one thing I want to emphasize too with any client is that even if you've expunged something, you think it's erased, you were told by the state court that it's not on the record, the federal authorities still may have it on the record. So it's really a smart thing to do to check what do the federal authorities have in your record. So on our website we have a little section for background checks. Again, it's immigrationprofessor.com. But I want to talk about just sort of the basics of what people need to be concerned about. But again, emphasizing that any encounter with the police, background check. Check with an attorney. Make sure that this isn't anything that's going to disqualify you from deferred action. So what has the President said? Again, here's a copy of the executive order. So anybody that's engaged in, of course, terrorism or espionage, those kind of people we don't want. He also, by the way, one of the other priorities is people that participate in street gangs. And let's see what the language says. It says, if you are convicted of offense for which an element was active participation, active again, in a street gang, then you may not be eligible for this. But you have to have been over 16. So again, it gets a little complicated, and it's important to check. Another thing is if you have a felony. A felony as defined by state or federal law. Or on another level, an aggravated felony is defined by the immigration law. Those are very serious crimes like murder, rape, those types of things. So those are people that would be definitely barred. Another one, I'm going to use the lower part of the board here, is 3 misdemeanor offenses. Again, I think it's important that the President and the executive order excludes any kind of traffic violations such as running a red light or things like that. So any 3 misdemeanors, they have to be separate. Sometimes someone was driving intoxicated, something happened. They may have more than one offense, but it has to arise out of 3 separate incidents. So 3 misdemeanors. The other one that would bar somebody is a significant misdemeanor. And this is a separate from the 3 misdemeanor, 1 significant misdemeanor. And actually, the executive order, like deferred action for kids that came here before they were 16, that's been in place for a couple years, This deferred action for people that have citizen kids also defines that. Here's the definition. I'm going to read it to you from the order. They define significant misdemeanor as an offense of domestic violence, more about that in a second, sexual abuse or exploitation, burglary, unlawful possession or use of a firearm, drug distribution or trafficking, or driving under the influence. Or, if an offense is not listed, or one of the ones I just mentioned, then a significant misdemeanor would be one for which someone was put in jail for 90 days. So that's a lot of things to investigate. I'm going to continue a little bit on this, but I want to emphasize that you can see all of our videos on immigration topics on our website, www.immigrationprofessor.com, or if you need representation or have a specific question about a case, call us at 888-439-4560. So again, we are talking about significant misdemeanors, which can include DUIs. One thing I want to explain, though, is that the executive order says that even if you have some kind of criminal conviction, there may be compelling factors that the government could consider to grant you, prosecutorial discretion. Let's say, for example, you're married to a citizen, you have, 4 kids, you may have a special needs child with significant special needs, or yourself may have some significant medical needs, and maybe, the significant misdemeanor happened 20 years ago. So there may be instances where the government can actually excuse some of these things, depending upon the whole totality of the circumstances, and the executive order takes that into account. In any event, so these are the major ones. The other thing I want to emphasize too is that people with a deportation order, deportation, which is also called removal order, may also be qualified for deferred action as long as it was prior to January 1st, 2014. This is not entirely clear from the executive order, but it's fairly implied from the executive order. So that's something that if you have an old deportation order, again, before January 1 of 2014, it may be worth exploring, calling our offices as to whether we think we can get you deferred action. So this gives you a little bit of a roadmap of some of the things that are important. Again, I want to emphasize before I close the video that any encounter with the police, anything, even if it occurred years ago, even if you think it's erased, it's extremely important to get it checked, see what it is. Sometimes there's mistakes made, but it's important that you know, and your attorney know, or whoever's helping you, what it is the government, the federal government, not the state government. Again, the U.S. government has in its file. So get a background check done. Check out our website for more information about both that as well as the new deferred action under President Obama. Again, the website is www.immigrationprofessor.com. Or, again, if you have a specific question about your case, we're delighted to help, or you need representation. We do it in any state. Our number is 888-439-4560. Thank you so very much.